If you like the idea of dividend stocks but hate the idea of waiting forever to get paid those dividends, then this series is for you.
Well, now hang on, there might be something to this.
Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if it's your very first time here. My name is Troy, and in this series, I spend hours doing research to find the hidden gems of the dividend world so you don't have to. For example, this week, there were 187 stocks that had an ex-dividend date between August 8th and August 11th of 2025. 83 of those stocks showed that they can not only pay, but also grow their dividend for at least 5 consecutive years. And 28 of those stocks were able to make the risk of investing into individual stocks worth it by also outperforming the S&P 500 over a long period of time. I then took those 28 stocks and picked my 5 favorites to share with you guys today.
MVP! MVP! MVP!
And I want you guys to know that it is very important to watch this series when I release it, which is every single Friday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, because every single stock from today's video is going to have an ex-dividend date of this coming week, which simply put is the date you must own the stock before in order to get paid the next dividend from that company. With that being said, it'd be awesome if you guys could take 1 second to tap on that like button, as that tells YouTube that you guys like this kind of content. And without further delay, let's go ahead and jump in to number 5 on this week's list, which is Hawkins, stock ticker HWKN. Including today's video, this is now the second time I've spoken about this stock in this series, including back-to-back selections. And if you go back to the first time I spoke about this stock, which was in episode 154 or May 23rd of this year, Hawkins has done very well since that first mention, returning almost 24% in under 3 months. So let's talk a little bit more about this one right here. Hawkins is a quarterly payer in the materials sector, paying 76 cents per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 0.48%. Hawkins has been paying and growing their dividend for the last 21 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate sitting at 10.07%, a 5-year dividend growth rate sitting at 9.26%, and a payout ratio of 15.75%. Now, at the time of recording, Hawkins was trading 7.48% off of its 52-week high. It has an ex-dividend date of August 15th with a payout date of August 29th, and checking out their chart over the past 10 years, a single lump sum $10,000 investment into Hawkins would have been turned into $100,537.14, which outperformed the S&P 500 by $65,277.38 in the same time frame. That last stock just returned over $100,000, and it only came in at number 5. So buckle up, we're going to continue. Now moving on to number 4, which is Eli Lilly, stock ticker LLY. Including today's video, this is now the 6th time I've spoken about this stock in this series, including 1 selection in a row. And if you go way back to the first time I talked about this stock, which was in episode 8 or August 5th of 2022, Eli Lilly has averaged over 37.5% returns per year over the past 3 years since that first mention. So let's go ahead and see what kinds of numbers produce those kinds of numbers. Eli Lilly is a quarterly payer in the healthcare sector, paying $6 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 0.78%. Eli Lilly has been paying and growing their dividend for the past 12 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 15.24%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 15.12%, and their payout ratio sits just under 20%. Now, at the time of recording, Eli Lilly was actually trading 21.61% off of their 52-week high, so there could be an opportunity here. They have an ex-dividend date of August 15th with a payout date of September 10th. And looking at this chart on your screen, you guys can see that over the past 10 years, Eli Lilly has a total return of 986.06%, which outperforms the S&P 500 over the past 10 years in terms of dollars by $73,379.03. This week's list is already off to a great start, and it's only going to get better. Coming in at number 3 on this week's list is Cintas, stock ticker CTAS. Including today's video, this is now the 6th time I've spoken about this stock in this series, including 4 selections in a row. And if you go back to the first time I spoke about it, which was in episode 74 or November 10th of 2023, Cintas has averaged over 35% returns since that first mention. So let's learn some more on this one right here. CTAS is a quarterly payer in the industrial sector, paying $1.80 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 0.81%. CTAS has been paying and growing its dividend for the last 41 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate sitting just under 18%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 19.6%, and a payout ratio of 33.64%. Now, at the time of recording, Cintas was trading 3.38% off of its 52-week high, as an ex-dividend date of August 15th with a payout date of September 15th. And looking at their chart, you can see that total return of 1,034.78% compared to the S&P 500's total return of 252.57%, which in terms of dollars means Cintas outperformed the S&P by $78,178.93. And really quick, before we get to the rest of the list, I want to hear from you guys down in the comments. I want to know from you guys what you think of this week's list, any stocks you love, any stocks you hate, but more importantly, I want to know if you own any of these stocks and how they're doing for you. But now, let's get to number 2. Next up on this week's list, earning the silver medal, coming in at number 2, is Wingstop, stock ticker WING. Including today's video, this is now the 7th time I've spoken about this stock in this series, including 6 selections in a row. And if you go back to the first time I spoke about it, which was way back in episode 38 or March 3rd of 2023, Wingstop has brought back more than 110% on your money in under 2.5 years since that first mention here on my channel. So let's look at how the numbers look for this one. Wingstop is a quarterly payer in the consumer discretionary sector, paying $1.20 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 0.33%. Wingstop has been paying and growing their dividend for the last 8 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 16.68%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 19.68%, and a payout ratio sitting at 23.49%. Now, at the time of recording, Wingstop was actually trading 16.46% off of its 52-week high. They have an ex-dividend date of August 15th with a payout date of September 5th. And checking out this chart over the past 10 years, Wingstop would have turned a $10,000 investment into $154,030.21, which outperformed the S&P 500 by $118,770.45. And here it is, the stock you guys must know about on this week's list. Coming in at number 1 is Comfort Systems USA, stock ticker FIX. Including today's video, this is now the 10th time I've spoken about this stock in this series, including 7 selections in a row. And if you go way back to the very first time I ever talked about this stock in episode 9 or August 12th of 2022, I'm going to go ahead and claim this one as one of the staple stocks here on my channel, because when I first mentioned it way back when, I don't know if anybody was hyping this one up like I was. Since then, it's averaged 87.67% per year over each of the past 3 years, and this one will only get better for these next 2 slides. FIX is a quarterly payer in the industrial sector, paying $2 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 0.29%. FIX has been paying and growing their dividend for the past 13 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 42.36%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 29.62%, and it's sustainable because the payout ratio is a measly 7.69%. Now, at the time of recording, Comfort Systems USA was only trading 3.22% off of its 52-week high. It has an ex-dividend date of August 14th with a payout date of August 25th, and get ready to hold on to your britches. Looking at this chart, FIX has a total return over the past 10 years of 2,488%, or an average annual return of 38.45% per year. Not too shabby. Oh yeah, it also outperformed the S&P 500 by a measly $223,519.58. Now, I know that last stock probably knocked you guys clean out your chair, but you guys do need to remember 3 dates before you click off this video. This video comes out on August 8th of 2025. The earliest ex-dividend date from this week's list is August 14th of 2025, meaning your decision will be due by August 13th of 2025 if any of these stocks, which probably all of them, caught your eye and you don't want to miss the next dividend from any of these great companies. With that being said, you 1000% missed every ex-dividend date from last week's list, but if you're still in the market for 5 super high quality dividend stock ideas, you can check that video out right here. But until next time, see ya.